Hey guys, how's it going? So, yeah, I kind of already started recording this video, and then the instructions show two different ways to mount this valve, and I did it the wrong way. The wrong way, even though the directions show it mounting this way, but you actually need it this way. Anyway, this is the exhaust for the Ram. This is a Flowmaster Flow FX dual mode exhaust. 717900, I think, is the part number. It's for the 09 to 21, 22 classics, with the dual exit exhaust from the factory. And this is what the exhaust looks like. All bolt in, all clamp in, no cutting or anything like that. Now, you see all the stuff sprawled everywhere. And I thought I scored the jackpot because I had two of the PK1018 kits, hardware kits. And I was like, oh, sweet. I got, double the stuff, which I do. I got double actuators, double modules, double clamps, everything. So, if I have a module go bad or have a actuator go bad, sweet, I can just swap it out without having to call Flowmaster and buy one. But I quickly realized that I don't know if the bolts are supposed to be in these kits, which I assume they are. But I opened one of the kits up, so to get everything together, show everything off. And it's supposed to have 5 M6x1 bolts. Well, I got one. One in that bag and one in that bag. Luckily, I dug around and found some that I'll use temporarily. But before I get too far, I'm not going to show the install of this. I'm going to do that at work on a lift, so I'm not on my back trying to juggle all this stuff. There's plenty of videos on here. I'll go under the truck and show you where the clamps are and, where the stuff is, and it's easy. But there's plenty of other videos on how to actually install this. It's not rocket science. There's a clamp there, 2 clamps there. You got to take your tailpipes off. So undo the tailpipes, undo the hangers, undo the clamps, and drop them. And then this literally goes in place of it. Slide it on 2 inches. When you take your old pipes off, mark 2 inches on the pipe that goes up to the engine and the pipes that go to the tail end of the truck. Mark 2 inches. They have to slide in 2 inches to each of these clamps in order to fit right and seal. So that's one thing you need to do. But yeah, like I said, with this, I got 2 of them, but you're not going to get 2. You're going to get an actuator that's in this protective box. You're going to get an extension wire kit. You're going to get the modules. You're going to get the remotes. You're going to get the clamps. You're going to get some T-taps and all this other stuff. And hopefully you get 5 bolts that you need. I'm going to use these temporarily and then swap them out later on. But, so, you take this bracket. You take the fiber gasket to keep heat away. You're trying to keep heat away from the actuator. So you put a fiber gasket here. Now, you take this and you bolt it on with this 3rd leg for the actuator pointing up towards the chain, towards the mufflers. And then bolt that down. And I'll be back. Another thing I forgot to say. There is a fiber washer, or 3 fiber washers, 2, whatever, however many they put in the bag that day. Put those under the washer on these when you tighten it down. Because the point is to keep heat away from this. To keep heat away from this. So, yeah. Next you take this little spring hook, make sure it looks like this. And then take your spring hook, I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, but make the loop. Oh, I did do it one hand. Make the loop where it's up towards this bolt right over here. And then take this, you line it up, and see there's a step. This step is going to go actually into this hole. There's going to be pressure. So then you just take this, you line it up where it slides in. Oops. Line it up where it slides in. And then make sure it all lines up like that, drops in, and then tighten it down. Now, this valve will be open. This valve will be open. You're going to have to close it when you wire everything up and press the button. And there you go. That's how the valve should look. The plug should be pointing towards the muffler assembly. And that's what I got wrong last time. Now, like I said, this will be open. So, yeah, you'll have to close it and do all that stuff when you first start it up. So, next time you see this, this will be on the truck. And I'll be showing you the wiring. Alrighty, one last thing before I, go on and then do the electrical stuff and tomorrow and whatever. I wanted to go ahead and plug it up to see, make sure it works right. And, see what it does if you try to go in the wrong direction. Well, I quickly found out it comes with two batteries. CR 2016s, or 2016Ss, whatever. Those are the wrong batteries. Either that or they're supposed to have 4. Because I open this thing up, there's like a little slide out tray along with the contacts. Again, I'll show this later. So I slid out the tray, put a battery in it, slid it back in, didn't work. No matter what I did, didn't work. There was way too much space between the CR 2016s, which is a very thin battery. I think it's supposed to have a 2032. So it's supposed to have a CR 2032, I'm pretty sure. 20 is the roundness and 16 is the thickness, so a 32 should be double that. So I had to use both. I took both batteries in the bag, put them in this little, there's a brown black slide out tray. I put them both in there, slid it on, and it works now. Now it's already open, or it's already off, and you can hear it. It tries to move and then it stops. So there's obviously some sort of overcurrent protection. Wouldn't do that too often though. So you open it, open, then the relay it just clicked off, close, just clicked off. So it opens, it stalls the motor, and then it shuts off. It closes, it stalls the motor, and then it shuts off. So there's some kind of current sense to know when it's trying to spin the motor when it can't move. So far, my impression is not that great with this. It was missing bolts in both of my hardware kits, which you're only supposed to get one hardware kit. Luckily, I had 2, so I could put the stainless steel ones on the muffler side of that mount. And then the batteries are too thin for the remotes. The tray is a size for a 2032, but they give you 2 2016s, and that black tray is supposed to keep it in place, but the tongs on the connector aren't enough to crush down on the battery. Yeah, so I'm probably going to buy some 2032s tomorrow while I'm out getting stainless steel bolts for that. I'll be back with the muffler on and doing wiring. Alright, I know I said I was going to wire it up with y'all, but I went ahead and wired it up while I had it up on the lift. Here it is. It was pretty darn easy. Just slip all the connections out, pull the tips off. You take and pull the tips off, and then you pull each individual pipe in the back off out of the factory muffler. And then you mark each of these pipes. This pipe, and this pipe. 2 inches, which isn't hard because there's already witness marks from where it was. Up at the top, there's a tab. That tab lines up with a notch on each one of these.
So you can't get the pipes angled wrong. Just make sure they're slid in 2 inches, put a mark on it at 2 inches, slide them all in, button it all up. It's easy. And I'll go ahead and show you the wiring. The wiring I have coming out here, going up over this cross member, zip tied across the cross member into this wiring harness on the side of the frame up here. Comes back along here on this wiring harness right here, crosses over the frame, follows the wiring harness up to here, pulled the inner fender liner out, go up over this brace, follow that wiring harness all the way up to the top, and it comes up this wiring harness up through here. I stopped following the wiring harness and then just made it go straight up on this ground terminal. Then went up here, looped it around here. Then I mounted the box onto here. Then I have it looped around some more on the brake level sensor. That fusible link, positive, negative. Alright guys, well, I'm back at the house now. It's quite a bit later. The exhaust sounds great going down the road. I kept it open the whole time. But, yeah, and I got home. But, you know, I wanted to close it. Closed it, went to open it back up, and it jammed. So, I let it cool down for a couple hours, came back out. I didn't know what was jammed. Jacked the whole rear end of the truck up enough where I could sit upright to get to the solenoid. Loosened the solenoid and it started working. Tightened it back down, it jammed. That spring clamp, I think, is putting too much pressure down on that valve and it's causing it to jam. Pulled the other fiber spacers out, washers that I had, out of my other kit that I had. You could just use regular washers. Put a washer under the 3 corners of the actuator, tightened it down again, and it's working again. I also flipped that spring clip from facing the front of the truck to facing the rear of the truck. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but that's what I did. It seems to be working now. And I'll give you a sound clip. This isn't going to be a full exhaust tutorial clip with drive-bys and rev-ups and stuff like I did on my Yukon and my Jeep. I'll do that later. But I'll just give you some sound clips from back here, and you can hear the difference. So yeah, overall, the sound is good. Like the sound. Could be louder, but at the same time, I wasn't going for obnoxiously loud. You know, I already have a Jeep, which is obnoxiously loud, which I still need to change the muffler on that, because the glass pack is no more after a decade of being on there. My Yukon, I love the way that sounds. Nice, mellow, has some tone. You open the headers and, you know, all out. This in the same way. It's got a real nice, deep, throaty sound with everything closed, and then you open it up, you get more deeper, throatier, and louder. Plus drone. I haven't driven it closed yet. I'm probably going to drive Monday or whatever to work with it closed and drive around with it closed and see what the drone is like, if there is any. But, so overall, love the sound, love the muffler part of the kit, but not too impressed with packaging and some other stuff. Too small battery for the remote, missing bolts to bolt everything together in both packages. And then, you know, I get everything on, get everything done, cool, and then I come home after driving home, and it locks up after I close it. And it's too much spring tension on that little spring clip. Too much tension, which is pushing down on it so it can't spin. So I had to space that out. So far it's working. So, you know, I don't know if I got an early production kit or what. You know, obviously it's made during COVID, so that could be an issue. There's a bunch of stuff that's been being sent out all over the place that is causing issues, you know, parts not put together right, and, you know, missing stuff, and it's just all because of everything that's going on in the economy right now. It's a nice exhaust if you want to tinker with it. I would let this whole economy thing blow by, and maybe you'll have better results on fit and finish. Fit and finish was fine, but maybe you'll have better results with you know, hardware. Luckily, I had 2 hardware things where I could put stainless steel on the ones that needed it the most. Anyway, I've been rambling for the last couple minutes, but I would love to give this higher. I like Flowmaster, I like the products, you know, but I'm not partial to them. You know, I've had Flowmasters, I've had Flowtechs, I've had Magnaflows, I've had glass packs. You know, I'm not impartial to any brand. I just got this one specifically for the fact that if I wanted to be mild, I could be mild, or if I wanted to be loud, I could be loud. And it's a direct bolt-on kit, so that worked out for me. Because if plans are getting rid of this truck in a couple years, if they're still making the classic body style, I'm going to buy a classic body style. And I'm going to take everything that I put on this off and transfer it back to stock, and then go to something else, which is why I'm trying to get bolt-on add-ons and not a full custom exhaust or stuff like that. Yeah, I'll give my impressions when I do my exhaust video, which is probably going to be not immediately. I'm going to drive it for a couple weeks or so, and then do an exhaust video, and I'll give my impressions at that point, see if I have any more problems with the valve, and etc., etc. But anyway, I will talk to y'all later.